It cracked at the bottom. My keyboard started glitching as well. They now just don't work. Mac versus Dell. How expensive is it for the perfect laptop? Hi guys, I'm Sadia. Welcome back to my channel. I know a lot of you guys are starting uni in September and I keep getting questions about what laptop do I use, what laptop should I buy for uni. We're going to compare the prices, performance, personal experience and the laptop's different capabilities. So before we get into the tech nitty gritty, I'm going to tell you guys about my journey with tech and my laptop. When I first went to uni, I had this big chunky Dell. It was okay for a period of time, but the battery on it wasn't great. I saw everyone in my architecture degree using these shiny Macs and I thought I'm gonna have me one of those. I went into the Apple store about 2 weeks into the second year of uni and I got myself my shiny MacBook laptop. And it did me well until the last few months of uni where I was trying to export drawings, and because my laptop storage was not great, it did not do me well. So when I was going to start my masters, I thought, nah, I have to get a big boy laptop. And that's where I got my Dell XPS, and that's been my solid rider. A year out, I kind of returned back to my little MacBook a little while to get used to the MacBook's layout and folder systems, just because I grew up with a Dell. But when you're deciding between Dell and Apple, I think it's good to categorize which type of student you are. Are you more of a tech science student or business and humanities student? Because you will have different needs. IT, tech and science degree, I'm sure you guys understand the importance of having a good quality laptop. Coding simulations require a good amount of horsepower. If you're in the business or humanities sector, your laptop serves as a research tool and your laptop is a bit like a communication center. Now let's talk price. XPS can start at £800 and go up to 1.6 depending on the configuration. My laptop, I paid I think 1.2 for mine and it's a 15-inch touchscreen, so it was on the pricier end. On the other hand, the Apple laptops that do come with a certain amount of je ne sais quoi. MacBook actually has its own version of PowerPoint and WordPad controlled within the system. When you're doing a lot of research and typing, having a software built into your laptop that you can go to might save you a bit of money compared to going out and buying a Microsoft Word subscription. They can range anywhere between £1,000 and £2,000. They do have a higher starting point. If you want additional storage or additional features like the swipe bar, you are definitely looking around 1.6. The Dell XPS comes with some really strong specs so that it can handle heavy simulators and coding platforms. Because you can buy Dells from almost anywhere, you can get a more competitive price for them. My sister studied biomedical science and she started with a shiny it girl Apple MacBook. It was an Apple MacBook Air as well, so the storage wasn't that great. By the end of third year, she had to switch to a Dell laptop because she had to download certain science-based softwares for graphs and charts and the Mac just couldn't handle it. Keep that in mind because her laptop now is collecting dust in the cupboard right over there. When it comes to getting more for your money, it's kind of obvious that the Dell wins here. MacBooks tend to be more of a one-time buy. The Dell, there's so many manufacturers and laptop modifications that you can make. Whereas with the MacBooks, there's only a certain number you can pick from within their range. With the Dell, you could be spending days and days comparing all the different types. Let's take a look at the everyday user and experience regardless of what your degree is. Often overlooked, the keyboard actually plays such a big part in the use of a laptop. Height of my dissertation, I really appreciated my MacBook's keyboard. The keys are not too deep, it feels very flat and it's just quite seamless to type on. On the other hand, my big old Dell has such heavy keys, you can hear the taps from the other side of the room when you're typing, and it has quite a springy feel, which can be good for marathon writing, but when you are typing out bits of text, having that spring can almost hurt your fingers after a bit. My perfect combination when doing long pieces of essay writing is to take my Mac to the library and use the main desktops in the library to type. Now let's consider the sound of both these laptops. I personally think that the Dell has a much better cinematic type of sound, but let me know what you think, guys. Both the models do have fans and they stay relatively silent. If you're a multitasker with different apps open, particularly if you're an architecture student, expect to hear some humming or even some vibrations at times. Let's talk about storage and durability, two aspects you cannot afford to ignore, because I've been there and you don't want to be stuck the day before your hand in and your InDesign won't open because it says that your storage is full. I faced minor durability issues with my Mac. It cracked at the bottom at some point. In comparison, my Dell has stayed super untidy and super strong, even though I have dropped it a couple times in its case. The Mac is so thin and seamless that one little drop and you will see the cracks straight away. Even if you've got a case on it, be extra careful when you're picking it up and putting it down. Now let's delve into some real world glitches. My MacBook comes with 2 charging ports, and somehow I think dust or dirt has collected in one of the ports and they now just don't work. 2, about a year in, my keyboard started glitching as well. I can't use my Alt key, it just doesn't work. I have to kind of copy and paste another key from somewhere, and I know I can pay to get this fixed, but when I'm dropping £1,000 on a laptop, a year in, I shouldn't be having these glitches. The storage, Mac do offer limited options, and the way that they've designed them, you can't simply unscrew everything and add more RAM. Dell has the benefit of customization. You can kind of chop and change parts as you need them. With Mac, it's not the case. Even in terms of softwares, with the MacBook, there are certain softwares you just can't get. For example, with Revit, you can't get it on a MacBook, or you have to turn your Mac into a Dell somehow and then install Revit, but that can eat up a lot of storage as well. As Dell came first, a lot of the softwares we see today easily program into it. Many degrees require certain familiarity with certain tools and softwares, so having the right laptop that has that can significantly help your studies. The best things about my Dell is the touchscreen, especially as a design student. If you want to do design on an Apple product, you have to go for an iPad and then you have to buy the pen, which I know a lot of design students like to do, but it's just extra cost that maybe you don't want to pay for. Whereas with the Dell, it comes with a touchscreen. Certain models even offer a 2-in-1 feature, so you can treat it like a normal laptop or like an iPad whenever you want. I did get mine just completely integrated. It's a game changer for sketching and tracing design. Now, personal experience and integration, I think this is where the Mac wins for me. If you already have an iPhone, an Apple Watch, AirPods or AirPod Maxes, then the MacBook might be a seamless choice for you. Integration between Apple's devices streamlines your tasks and communication. You can text people off your Mac to another iPhone. You can send yourself pictures from your iPhone to your MacBook within seconds. I transferred an hour-long video from my phone to my Mac and it took about a minute. And let's be real, the MacBook does give off a certain aesthetic. It is lightweight, made of aluminium. It just gives it girl, that girl, clean girl. Steve Jobs gave a quote saying that it just works. It feels fluid, it feels seamless, it feels quick when you're scrolling between apps. This experience does stand in contrast to some of the previous PCs, and I think that's why Steve's quote is so true. I don't know why I'm calling him Steve, like he's my actual mate. A lot of PCs are known to be a little bit stodgy, quite heavy, and they tend to crash a lot. Although my Dell XPS does have very few of those issues, but if I'm going to talk about my overall user experience, I would definitely go for them. I think the Dell XPS acts as a really heavy-duty compatible laptop for whatever degree that you do. It's a lot heavier and weighty to carry around, but I kind of see it as like your reliable friend that never lets you down. And the MacBook is much more lightweight, seamless, and is more attractive. But do I think it performs even better than the Dell? I don't think so. For the price that you are paying for the Mac, you can probably find that in a Dell. Fair enough, your Dell won't look as shiny and fresh, but it will do the job well. Me personally, as an architecture student, I would always go for the Dell. But now that I'm getting more into content creation and I'm not actually doing my degree at the moment, I always reach for my MacBook just because it's easier to use. The choice between a MacBook or a Dell XPS, it does come down to personal preference and how you feel you would use the laptop most. Around September, October time, when students are going back to uni, a lot of these big companies like Apple and Curry tend to offer sales and discounts to students. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled. Definitely get money off whichever laptop you go for. Share your thoughts in the comments and don't forget to subscribe. And I want to wish all of you starting uni in September the best of luck. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you in my next video.